By definition, a computer is a general-purpose device that can be programmed to carry out a finite set of arithmetic or logical operations. The first electronic digital computers were invented between 1940 and 1945 in the United Kingdom and the US. These first computers were the size of a large room and used as much power as over 500 modern-era computers today. The computer pictured is the first Apple computer, the Macintosh, invented in 1984. Internet became widely popular in the 1990s with the growing improvement on the development of technology and ever-expanding interest in different places around the world. Of course, the Internet was really only available in certain places, such as the United States and most of the rest of Western Europe and China. Historically, the West has always been at the top of the ladder when it refers to technology going as far back to the Iron and Bronze Ages as well. This map shows the Internet users in 2010 as a percentage of a country's population. Notice that the most prominent areas on this map are North America and Western Europe, along with Japan, Australia, and even Dubai on the southern tip of the Arabian Peninsula. The digital divide is most severe when comparing North America to Southeast Asia or most of the whole continent of Africa. You can clearly see the relation of urban to rural areas on the globe as it pertains to Internet usage. One of the factors that determine a good chunk of the digital diversity is race. In a study about 10 years ago, it was shown that whites were much more likely to own computers than Hispanic Americans or African Americans, and by extension, were much more likely to have access to the Internet. However, this study has completely flipped over into the other direction. In Nielsen's latest Mobile Insight study, whites are now less likely to own smartphones than Asian, Hispanic, or Black Americans because smartphones are able to access the Internet. Whites are becoming less and less likely to have more access to the Internet. The racial gap of the digital divide in America is quickly shrinking as more and more people are gaining Internet access. This map, similar to the one shown earlier, gives us a better understanding of Internet access as it refers to geographic location. This is the major issue when it comes to the digital divide around the world. Those that live in more urban locations have more Internet access than those that live in rural areas. You can clearly see where all of the major urban centers in the world are by taking a glance at this map. Increasingly, some researchers have stated that the gap in the digital divide has decreased so substantially that it is no longer a case of who has access and who doesn't, but a case of who has more knowledge of how to use the technology in front of them. Those that do not have the technological knowledge to operate computers at a high rate will most likely be discouraged from using them or will not even bother doing so. Even though the digital divide is still an issue, it has become much less of an issue overall. More and more people are able to have access to the Internet on a daily basis, which has certainly closed the gap somewhat. I believe that it is now time to start tackling the knowledge divide here in America. We need to teach technology at an early age and emphasize the importance of it in the world that we live in today. That is why classes like this one are very important. You can never learn too much about technology and how to effectively and efficiently use it.
Sitting sorrow, it's gone straight to my head. I say the pain shall come and it shall go, a friend once said. You ain't living for no God, no. You be living for the dollar sign. I say you frown upon your maker's face, you shall find.